are a little bit on the,
the
rotten
vegetables
side.
were not good. Yeah, that's what I got with fresh. Hello Fresh.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we need to do a slate? Good job, Jave.
No, we don't need to do a slate.
No slate?
We only have one camera view.
Wait.
Here. Hey!
Because it's fun. Hey, it's Andy and it's Jave, and we're Two Dudes
Two
Reviews.
Dudes Reviews. Hi, how are you?
Hey, today we're going to do party ribs. Jave was
What?
like, what are party ribs?
Yeah, is there a difference between like regular ribs and party ribs?
Well, there's the ribs you serve regularly and then the ones you serve at a party.
Okay.
Or, as you've seen our other rib, videos or whatever, racks of ribs. But party ribs cook faster.
Okay.
So I've had by the way on the grill right now is a brisket. It's a small little 3-pound brisket. And we're at about hour 6 almost.
Okay.
So it's still kind of taking a little while to get there, but I'm
What
at
temperature?
225.
Okay.
225.
Can you keep the same temperature?
I'm not. I'm actually going to pump up to 250 because it won't hurt. The brisket is wrapped,
Okay.
right? So I'm going to put these right alongside the brisket, and actually they might finish together. I don't know.
That's the hope.
But even if they don't, the brisket obviously you want to pull and rest. So we'll check the brisket while we're doing these.
Okay.
But party ribs, I expect these ribs. This is a single rack of St. Louis style ribs. But basically you just slice them all up raw, and then you can coat all 4 sides. So one of the biggest things about doing a whole rack of ribs, number one, can take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you only get flavor on the top and the bottom.
Right.
Right? And the bottom has very little meat, so you're only getting one side of meat with flavor, really.
Yeah.
And so this gives you flavor all the way around, and they cook faster.
Now, you've done these before.
I've never done them. This is
Okay.
try number 1.
So my concern is that because they're separated like this, there might be an issue with them drying out. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong there. That would be the only thing that I would say could be a challenge.
Well, that's why
But
we're
a lot
doing
easier.
the whole video thing.
Yeah, we're going to
So
see.
We're going to throw these on the grill here, and then we are actually going to take them and pull them, coat them in sauce, and put them in the pan,
Okay.
and finish them in the pan. So
All
we're
right.
going to watch that pretty closely, and we'll see how these come out compared to our normal
And
ribs.
hopefully when we sauce them up, we won't have the catastrophe that happened. You guys didn't see the video because we didn't film it. Of the pork belly that we cooked out.
Oh, we did
a couple
pork belly.
weeks back.
Yeah. Key, by the way, the grill is very clean inside.
Oh.
Fortunately for the pork belly, and by the way, this is I guess is a master built video, right? I don't know. I'm not the guy that cleans my grill every time the inside of the grill every time I cook,
You
right?
almost don't want to. To me, growing up in South Texas, I would almost think it's kind of sacrilege. You want to get those flavors and the smoke.
You can believe all that stuff. The reality, though, is the master built's supposed to do slow and then sear, right? You're supposed to be able to cook low and slow. Crank that sucker up to sear it off. So we did some pork belly. We had it slow and low, and then I went to crank it up, but all the grease from everything else I'd cooked caught fire, and we had crispy pork belly.
Yeah.
It was, caramelized, as Emerald would say, but not the thing to do. So I ended up cleaning this. Well, it cleaned itself. It was a self-cleaning mode.
I'm sure.
As it all burned up, and I just swept it all out, cleaned it all up, so we have a clean grill. But we're not going to fire anything up to do this batch.
All right, hang out. The process is coming up.
Here we go. Well, this is where the heat comes from. So I just want to put the ribs over here on the heat side.
Is that the flat or the point of the brisket that you're cooking up?
I think it's a little of both.
Oh, great.
It has a little bit of both. It had a fat cap on one side and then a kind of flat side.
Any key on the seasoning that you have on these ribs?
I went to AmazingRibs.com, looked at a couple of recipes, and then made my own version.
Okay. And if you want to check out our rib videos, the link is above, or the link is somewhere. The link will be included.
The link will be somewhere in the... Yeah. I'm going to move that around. Want the biggest, thickest, heaviest parts close to the center.
And we do know what we're doing because we have lost some rib competitions.
Yeah.
And won a few.
Yeah. We've won and lost. That'll work. This is a really small little thin bone. We're going to put that over there. And this is just a flap that we're going to test.
That's the tester.
That's
meat.
the taster. All right. All right. So
And we're back.
Well, we're back. Oh. So our ribs have been on for about an hour,
Wow.
an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
They're cooked.
And they are they're looking good. So the recipe that I read said you want to take them off and put them in a pan when they get kind of crispy and almost ready.
Show one of those up close to the camera here. See?
Caramelization all the way around.
And you can see the meat pulling back from the bone just a bit, maybe
just a little.
quarter of an inch.
Yeah, we're not done cooking. We're just going to take them off and we're going to sauce them.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to sauce them. So
these are called party ribs.
These are party ribs. So we're using a blackberry bourbon barbecue sauce that I made.
Okay, and this blackberry bourbon was inspired by just you, or did you follow a basis of a recipe?
So, as we probably have discussed before, AmazingRibs.com is where I get a whole lot of my information when I want a recipe on rubs and sauces and things like that.
My brother does the same thing, I believe. Shout out Mark Patterson.
Yeah. So I'm just going to take it, I'm just going to toss these in a whole bunch of sauce. And then we're going to put them back on. And we're going to let them go for another probably 30 minutes or so until those bones have pulled away a little more. We know that the meat will be done, and we want it to be tender and juicy and delicious.
You know, typically in our relationship, Andy is the lazier guy of the two, and I would have, if I were he right now, I would have put these in a bowl, dumped the sauce on, and just done the old, chicken wing toss.
Yeah,
click,
but
click, instead of all this back and forth rigmarole.
But that would have been more dishes for the girls to wash, and trying to be a little considerate.
That stuff, man.
Right? That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just going to slather these with this. By the way, I did kind of read something interesting, and if people barbecue quite a bit, you want to pour your sauce into a bowl. You don't want to take your sauce directly out of the jar when you're doing something like this, because you're going to contaminate with the meat. Now, I don't think you really would, because these ribs are already cooked. These are going to go back in. We're at 275 degrees. They're going to go back in for probably another 30 minutes, and we'll do a tester when we're done.
All right. So, by the way,
wait, slate. Come on, man.
Go ahead.
No, we already did it. You're late. This is Isaac, my friend Isaac.
We didn't want to do a review on the ribs between us two because he was the chef, and I've reviewed a lot of ribs already. We wanted to bring in an impartial third party. Please meet Isaac. Isaac, Two Dudes Reviews community here.
Yeah, hello. All right, so the ribs have been in for about 2.5 hours now. So about 2 hours in, we pulled them off the grill, put them in a pan, and then I sauced them up with a little blackberry bourbon barbecue sauce that I made. And we're just going to pull, I am going to get like this is like the premium rib that you would want to eat, right, on your plate. It's going to be hotter than hell, and we're going to ask Isaac to take a bite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
just don't hurt yourself.
And then we're going to ask for, it's just coming off the grill. But so normally when we do ribs, obviously you do a rack of ribs, you slice it. And I guess the benefit of the party rib is you can see that you've got color all the way around. So we've got seasoning and color, sauce, everything all the way around. The meat's not pulled too far from the bone. This is a little different than if you did racks, all together. But the temperature on them is right. They feel nice and tender.
What temperature do you pull them at?
If you can get into the meat itself, 200, 205.
Okay.
Just like a brisket.
Right.
Our brisket is 200 and something degrees, and I pulled it off, and it's been resting for about 45 minutes or so.
We're not using a 2-camera shot. Do you want to show that picture a little bit closer here?
Okay. For those of you at home, there you go. There's that rib.
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
Beautiful. All right, Isaac, hopefully it's cooled down enough.
We're going to ask you
to pick that up.
Okay.
Take a bite. Face the camera.
Take a bite just facing the camera
get
right
up there.
Just get right in there and. Perfect. That's good. Okay.
All right. It didn't pull completely away, so it's not like if I'd have wrapped them and done any of that,
like
right?
a Texas crutch or whatever.
How does the flavor?
The flavor is really good.
Yeah, is it
smoky,
tender still?
little sweet, little tender, yep.
Tender still?
How chewy is it?
It's a little chewy.
Okay. A little chewy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So party ribs, 2.5 hours, not quite what we want. I actually might throw a beer in that pan, cover it up, and let it go for another 20 or 30 minutes.
Steam them a little bit.
I'm going to steam them a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
Yeah.
We're going to let Isaac eat his rib. There you go, Isaac.
You can tell when a rib is a little bit undercooked. It will be a little on the chewy side. You want them to...
There was a napkin, but it's gone.
That's all right.
You want it to have some chew, but you don't want it to be overly chewy, like bubblegum chewy.
Right. And so the fact that meat didn't pull right away from the bone tells me that we need to cook it a little longer.
Yeah.
All right,
And we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up
We're gonna
'cause-
have beer and we're gonna have wine.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna
be
start
incoherent.
drinking. And so, you've seen the videos where we were drinking, and they're not as good as when we don't drink, I think.
Or maybe
So
they're better. I don't know.
They could be better.
It depends if the hot chicks are involved.
well, that's all of it. But
In
anyway,
that case, it
all
was
right.
more
Until
incoherent.
next time,
Jave,
Judy's reviews.
Andy, Isaac, 2 Dudes Reviews. See ya.